Tries to net walking in, he shoots and scores! Mustangs draw first one. Teresi gets a shot away and scores! 4-4. Lachlan going to the net, shoots, and he scores!
And towards Cox. Cox gets a shot away. Davis makes the save. No, it's in! It's in! First over the lead!
Live from O'Brien Group Arena in Melbourne, this is AIHL TV. The 2017 regular season is brought to you by Air Canada, who offer the only daily and non-stop service to Vancouver. For details, visit aircanada.com.au. Borealis are a direct infrastructure investor with a portfolio worth in excess of $50 billion. ATC Productions, your live event technical provider. And APA Group, delivering Australia's energy.
And welcome to the O'Brien Group Arena here in Melbourne for the second game of a doubleheader between the Sydney Ice Dogs and the Melbourne Mustangs. Well, it was a bruising encounter last night here at this very arena in an epic clash between these two teams. 5-3 to the Mustangs, but plenty of bruises, plenty of penalty minutes, and plenty of entertainment as well. Hi everyone, I'm Steve White, and joining me in the saddle again, it's a good afternoon to Rod Johns.
And good afternoon to you, my friend. And what an afternoon it's going to be.
Well, I mean, obviously that all the talk, yes, that was one of the games of the season in terms of entertainment and form as well. Both teams were on it from the get-go. Great display of attacking hockey and physicality as well, and obviously Mr. Bellick and Mr. Dunwoody, which we'll discuss later. But obviously we've got a few subtractions and additions from both teams as a result of last night's game.
Well, that's right, and I think that you hit the nail on the head. It was an exciting game. It was very physical, and just how physical was it? Well, Damian Bright, number 19 for the Mustangs, is out with a concussion. So he's probably sitting in a dark room right now listening to our dulcet tones. Mr. McMahon, the captain for the Mustangs, is out with a partially dislocated shoulder. And for how long, we're not completely sure until he gets results from some tests tomorrow. There'll be some sore bodies on the Mustang side for sure, which I won't go into, but you can work that one out for yourself. And as far as the Ice Dogs go, I'll leave that up to you to enlighten me on who might not be showing up.
So Dave Dunwoody, after that fight yesterday, got 2 games.
Yep.
And Andy Bellick, as we thought, might have missed tonight as well. He didn't get a suspension. Different penalties. If you read the game sheet, it's interesting, but discuss that later on in the game. Into the lineup tonight for the Mustangs comes Luke Fisher and Steve Bellick. So they fill the roles. However, it's going to be a question of Mustangs defence a bit depleted with McMahon out, obviously, and Bright, so they're down two of their top 4 defensemen. And they have been running heavily, relying on 2 pairs of defensemen all season. So there's a chance for the Mustangs to exploit that, maybe.
Well,
sorry, the Ice Dogs,
yeah. But you know what? I think, again, and we touched on this briefly yesterday, so Troy Robertson is back in the lineup.
Yep.
He was a stalwart defenseman when the Mustangs actually won in 2014. So he had to get his head screwed on and get back into this level of hockey yesterday. This game will certainly be a step up for him,
yep.
And it'll be time for him to show what he can really do. Steve Bellick, like you said, is back in the lineup, and he'll have something to prove after sitting out for a game as well. So while we are depleted on defense, we have added 2 other players back in,
yep.
So that should make it very interesting.
And folks,
hang on, before you go, and just for a funny one here, okay? Yep. I have to actually wish Andrew Bellick congratulations on his 150th game, and it's a good thing that the referees decided to call the penalties on the little rumble the way they did. Otherwise, he would have had to postpone his 150th game.
Yeah, and until maybe the Derby on Thursday night.
That's right. So maybe there was method in that referee's madness.
Or a paper bag. Anyway, no, just no, shouldn't say that. No, but no, like it was very physical early yesterday. I mean, that's taken a toll, obviously, on the Mustangs, and a bit more or less so on the Dogs. Well, we'll find that out, obviously, as the game progresses. But we saw last night, particularly in the first period, the Mustangs defense had a real trouble containing Johnston and Toolman. They were just in behind the play and so fast off the break. So Can the Mustangs cope with that tonight?
Well, they'll have to. I think that you and I touched on that a couple times, and I mean, the drop of the puck, and there's a 1-0 breakaway in the first period, so they just cannot afford to let that happen.
Yep.
Toolman and Johnston threw the puck around very well. So there were many give and goes and a lot of opportunities. So if they want to stop the Ice Dogs and sweep this weekend, they certainly have to control Johnston, but they can never take their eye off Toolman.
And if we have a look at the AIHL ladder, after last night's game, the Mustangs jumped 4 points now in front of the Ice Dogs. So a win here for the Mustangs, so they win in regulation. They'll go to 28 points. The Brave lost to the Thunder last night, 4-2 over in the West. They dropped down to third, so they'll be equal on points with the CBR Brave. But that rematch will be happening about an hour's time over there in the West. So the Dogs, a pivotal game for them. The North Stars equal to them now on 21 points. However, they played 2 more games than them after the completion of this afternoon's fixtures. And the Bears, well, they're down in 7th now on 19, slipping away as the Adrenaline, well, they dropped one to the Melbourne Ice. They play them again this afternoon in the doubleheader. And that's, I think the Adrenaline, well, they're really starting to fall behind as well. So, I mean, it's not an easy task against the Melbourne Ice of 2017, but in terms of those last 3 teams I mentioned, it's becoming more of an uphill battle as we progress towards September.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think that all the focus at the moment is on the Mustangs and Ice Dogs to see what's going on. If I'm the Ice Dogs, I desperately don't want to lose this game because I want to stay within touch of what's going on with the Mustangs. You just don't want to make the gap greater.
Yeah, and look, I think out of all the teams in the 8, I think this season the Mustangs and the Dogs probably the most evenly matched up against each other. And we saw that last night. Yeah. 2 very similar styles of play. But we'll take you down now ice side for the national anthems, and then we'll be back for the drop of the puck between the Mustangs and the Ice Dogs.
Ball headwear for the national anthem.
And that concludes the national anthems. Let's get ready to drop the puck on this one. It's the Mustangs and the Ice Dogs, round number 2 of this weekend. And 3 points on the line here. And your starting goaltenders for this evening's game. In net again for the Melbourne Mustangs. It's James Kruger, 8 games played, 5 wins, 3 losses. GAA of 3.75% and a save percentage of .888. And for the Sydney Ice Dogs, Damien Ketlow, 7 wins, 8 losses. GAA of 2.48% and a save percentage of .930. And, well, if last night was any indication, well, they should have a fair bit of work cut out for them. But most of the goaltenders last night did make several key stops.
Well, I thought both of them played well, and certainly Kruger saved the Mustangs bacon at the start of the game, and he held his own for most of the game as well. And Kentlow played well too. So if I'm the coach from both benches and I had to look at my goaltenders, I'd be pretty happy because they certainly didn't cause the loss on either side.
Your officials for this afternoon's game, Kenneth Danielson, your referee, Steve Setka and Craig Armstrong-Frey are your linesmen. And here we go. Second game of the doubleheader between the Mustangs and Dogs underway here at O'Brien Group Arena as Beatty has the puck now, passes this one across to McCoy. Mustangs trying to clear their zone. Here's Vyasov streaking down the near side. Vyasov now drops it off now here for Kokanen. Tried the give and go there as O'Kane was arriving late at the back door and just unable to connect. Passed out now here by McGregor, chopped off there by Vyasov. Shoulder applied there by McGregor, and the puck copped up as a result and handed off back now here to Johnston, who got the opening goal of last night's game. Here's Rolick now, tried to dipsy-doodle his way around Beatty. Centers it in front of the high slot. Johnston touches it off now here for Tillman. Tried to slide it in front there for Stevenson. Intelligent play there from the Dogs, and just didn't pay dividends. Here's Rolick, slaps that one on goal. It's loose in front and cleared out of danger here by the Mustangs. And here comes Pat O'Kane. Dishes it off now to a Kokanen, trying to dangle through the long reach of Rory Rolick, only to be taken over by the equally long reach of Tillman, gloved by Ketlow, and we'll have a whistle.
So discipline's everything, and you could see in that earlier play right there, they left the slot open, the high slot. They can't do that either, okay? So they must be talking to each other. This is the Mustangs. They must be talking to each other in their own defensive zone. And you're right, Stevenson, that play in front of Kruger almost came off. That was a great little play.
14 minutes to go. Here's Pataki for the Ice Dogs. Wheels this one around there for Stevenson, as Burke skates all the way back into his own zone with Carini on the forecheck here for the Ice Dogs. Burke just touches this one up ice. It's onto the stick now of White for the Dogs. Goes cross ice to his defensive partner, Pataki. Sends it out to Schumack. Couldn't take it in the skates. It's going to cost a turnover now here for the Mustangs as Humphreys gets it out to Burke. Swings it wide. No one home there in the slot for the Mustangs and put in behind the net. And Andrew White has quite a bit of time and space. Banks this one off the boards. Carini can't do much with it. It's shot into the bench of the Dogs, and we'll get another whistle.
So Pataki tried to lead one of his players out of his own zone right through the slot, okay? And if Mustangs were awake on that one, they come right in on Ketlow. Not on, mate. Just not on.
And don't forget, fans, you want your tweet on screen at tonight's game. Just use the hashtag AIHL Game Day, and we'll discuss that as the game progresses, as Marino forces this one out. Manco gets tied up in front of his own bench. The puck deep in the corner, and here's Andrew Bellick in his 150th AIHL game, as it's almost centered in front there of Ketlow, but comes off a skate and all the way back out to the blue line as McCoy gets muscled there by Marino. Bellick, it's almost a kind of a power play penalty kill situation, even though we are at even strength judging by the formations. Appeals for a penalty go unheralded there, as Spence tries to dig at the puck, meets there with Beatty, put back in deep and rimmed around, back out to the point there by Schumer. McCoy skates onto it, puts it in, and, well, he's battered there by Marino, who sends it all the way back for Stringer to skate onto, playing on the point, and Beatty has it on the far side in front of the penalty box, slaps one, which is deflected off of McGregor, and that goes into the netting, and we'll have a whistle.
So that was pretty interesting. That was their third line, and they had the Ice Dogs hemmed in their own end for probably a minute.
Yeah.
So that's exactly what you want to do, man.
Yeah.
In relation to Andy's 150th anniversary party there, you should be coming to the James Hotel, and you can celebrate with Andy over a few beers.
And let's just hope he stays out of the office. Here's Robertson, sent up now in front of the bench. Vyasov peels off. And bound now here to Tillman, trying to get around Robertson. Tillman still got the puck. They're looking for White on the point. Well, just did well to keep it in, did Pataki. Sends it right back in there for Stevenson. Couldn't do much with it. Johnston can. And tries to get in there behind the net. Bumped there by Robinson. Rode the check well. Get back out to the point. Here to White. Fires one on net, looking for the tip from Tillman. Kruger saw it all the way. The rebound's loose. And they scored! Johnston! Deja vu from Saturday. He gets the opening goal of the game 2 nights in a row, and it's 1-0 to the Dogs.
So let's check the replay on that, because I'm pretty sure that there was no one on him, right? Everyone was looking elsewhere, and he comes in behind, and voila, he's got the net. So someone's got to pick him up, make sure that that doesn't happen. And we started the whole conversation by saying, if you want to win this game, you got to keep people like him off the score sheet.
So Johnston's 7th goal of the year from Tillman and White, and the Dogs open their account here this evening. They lead 1-0. Just under 4 minutes played here in the first. Here's Tillman now. Down the left-hand side. Gets shouldered there by McCoy, not before he can rim the puck around. Pataki couldn't control it. And to the advantage of Burke, it falls. Burke starts out down the far side. 3-on-2 break possibly developing here for the Mustangs. Just offside was Humphreys, and we'll have a neutral zone face-off.
So, I just put a little plug in here for the James Hotel. For those of you who don't know or haven't been paying attention, the James Hotel is one of the main sponsors of the Mustangs, so they're only too happy to have you come to their lovely hotel and quaff back a few ales and eat a few French fries.
Absolutely, and particularly as the competition across the road has gone now.
That's right.
So, no, James Hotel is a great spot, as McGregor now Sends this up ice, looking there for McDowell. Burke. And McDowell now couldn't do much with it. Humphreys trying to rim the puck around. And the defence there of the Sydney Ice Dogs proving to be efficient for the moment. Stevenson saw the check of Burke coming. The puck loose in the hash marks of the face-off circle. Rawlick gathers it in front of his own net and peels off back behind it and waits for options to present themselves as the formation takes shape here of the breakout of the Sydney Ice Dogs. Stevenson slings one around here for Ellis Carini to try and skate onto. Icing cancelled out. Oh, I thought that was pretty even, but called early.
Yeah, that was interesting because both of them were there. So let's have a little chat about the penalty shot yesterday. Because both you and I were puzzled by that.
Well, I still haven't had a chance to watch it actually, but I've watched obviously the fight 4 or 5 times. But as this one is whipped in front of the Ketlow's net and set in front of the bench for Robertson now. Good round, Steve Bellick taken over there by Stevenson. Stringer slaps it in deep, and Rawlick has to do much with the check of Fisher. Gets a soft check on the way through. It's set in front now of the Dogs bench. Stevenson, well, that's going to cancel out the icing call. Got to stick onto it, and Steve Bellick takes over now here for the Mustangs. Fires it up to the half wall as his brother Andy left it behind. Trying to get through there was Marino. And Bellick's, both of them, peel off inside the face-off circle, and Andy hammers it out now here to Fisher. Back to Andrew Bellick in over the line. Trying to the outside there of Pataki. Bellick trying to cut towards net. Centers it in front. The paddle from Ketlow comes out and cancels that out. There's the puck in behind. Shoots, short side shot. Trying to jam it there is Bellick. And, well, 2 digs at it and just couldn't put it in. And the third one went wide, and this one swung around. Deflected is the call from the linesman, so no icing. And the Ice Dogs change up their lines, as do the Mustangs. Here's Pat O'Kane. Met there by Johnston in the neutral zone. Johnston now did good work. That's going to be offside. Toolman a little too eager, and we'll get a whistle.
So go back to that other shift with the third line again. So there was a couple of really good give and goes. Fisher hands off to Andy Bellick, and they're in the zone. Exactly what you want. I don't know how many times you try to teach people that sort of thing. Give the puck up to the open guy and get it back again.
So here's McCoy. That's going to be icing. As that missed everyone. They have a face-off.
And then Bellick's in the other end, and he must have had 3 shots on Tetlow, and it just didn't come off. But they had them, and that's exactly what you want.
Well, Damien Ketlow has been one of the star goaltenders of the league this year. 2 shutouts, a GAA of 2.48. But as a credit to the rest of the Ice Dogs team, but him and, in my opinion, Peter DeSalvo, the 2 standouts this year between the pipes. There's this one sent in behind for Johnston. As the Thunder, obviously, playing the CBR Brave in Game 2 of their doubleheader this afternoon. We'll keep you updated on that score, as we will with the Melbourne Ice and Adelaide Adrenaline. As that shot cannoned in, and Kruger kicked it out. And comes straight back onto the stick here of Rawlick, who tried to give and go there with Johnston. He got muscled out. The Mustangs come out of their zone. Here's O'Kane in over the blue line behind Rawlick. Shoots! Oh, great save by Ketlow, who was out to challenge with the angle. And we got ourselves a penalty coming up. Slashing the call. And I think it's going to go against Stephen Johnston. And the Ice Dogs on the penalty kill. The Mustangs with their first man advantage of the afternoon.
Did you see it happen?
No, I didn't.
Must have been behind the play.
Yeah. So 8:58 left in the first period, and a 2-minute power play and a penalty to Stephen Johnston for slashing, as that one slapped out there by Rawlick, and Kruger has to come out of his net to settle things down for the Mustangs. There's Burke now. Hands off now here to Beatty. So 2 weeks ago scored one of the goals of the season in that game against the Sydney Bears, as this one here moved off now here to Jamie Burke. Kokanen. This is a down low, looking there for Humphreys. Follow-up from O'Kane was just about half a metre wide. And a good build-up there for the Mustangs, and unable to capitalise. It's Kokanen now. Back now here to Burke. Got Beatty on the other point calling for it. Now decides to go here to Kokanen, top of the face-off circle. Not much on offer. Back now here to Burke with a shooting lane. Fires one on net. Took a deflection in front off the shin pad of Humphreys. Danger not over there for the Dogs as Kokinen has it. Back now here to Burke. Fires, and that's blocked up off the skates of Scott Stevenson. Rolick muscles there with Kokinen. Appeals for a penalty there as Rolick has a little bit of a conversation with Kokinen. Here's Beatty. Beatty now looking off there here for O'Kane. Now, penalty called against, I believe that's going to go against Ellis Carini. Hooking is the call, and a 5-on-3 now here for the Mustangs. And a real chance to get on the board. Let's have a look. I don't think there was much in that, to be honest. I was interested to see what Rolick and Kokinen, what happened there.
I think he said, I think he checked to see if he was okay. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, okay?
Yeah. I didn't think it was a stick or anything, but anyway, here comes Burke now, and the low slightly shoots, puts it wide of the net of Ketlow, and the rebound comes back out to the point after Stevenson couldn't clear it. Beatty digging in there. He gets muscled as well by Andrew White. Here's Beatty. Dishes it down low. O'Kane back to McDowell. Now over to Burke with McDowell. McDowell now trying to isolate. He shoots, and it's deflected wide of the net of Ketlow. Here's Burke. Picks it up in front of the half wall. 16 seconds until the Dogs get a man back, that being Johnston. McDowell back to Burke now, the top of the slot. The extreme top of the slot. A quick shot. Oh, great build up there. Kokinen blew a stick. And we're going to have a whistle, and we're going to have a neutral zone face-off.
What was he going to call there?
I think Kokinen failed to drop his stick.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Okay, we're going to have a penalty.
I don't know if he knew if it was broken or not.
No, neutral zone face-off.
Nah, outside.
Offside is, it was offside.
But I was with you. I actually thought for a second there I was going to call that.
Yeah.
And then Kokinen dropped his stick.
It was actually the top part of the stick that came undone. Yeah. As Johnston steps back on the ice, we have a 5-on-4 now here for the Mustangs. Beatty with a drive. Great glove there from Ketlow. And he keeps his team with a donut in terms of concession. And 1:05 left on the penalty to Carini. As this one's set up ice, here's O'Kane to Humphreys. Humphreys now driving to the outside. Pretty comfortable save made there by Ketlow. He holds on to the rebound.
I tell you, the more and more I watch Beatty, he's like I said to you before, he's a forward secretly dressed up as a defenseman.
Yeah.
Okay? That guy has got more moves than a snake in a rattler's cage, man.
No step on Snick. Don't tread on me. He's going to have that. We're going to have that on the back of his helmet anyway. Here's Beatty, the Gadsden flag. Here's Stevenson over now to Burke from the pass of Beatty. Gets it back now here to Beatty. 47 seconds left on the penalty here for the Mustangs. As they're now cutting towards the net. Humphrey shot. Great save, Ketlow. Second beauty stop.
Dude, seriously.
In as many shifts there for Damien Ketlow. And your goaltender is your best penalty killer. Damien Ketlow certainly living up to that phrase. As Tolman now has it for the Dogs. Going hard towards the end zone there was Manco, but still 5-on-4. 22 seconds of it left. And, well, trying to pinch in there on the forecheck was Manco. Almost stole the puck off Robertson. And he gives it over now to Jamie Burke. Burke now with Kokinen and Humphreys on this first power play unit here for the Mustangs. Burke. As Rolick tried to muscle him. Burke still got it. Vyasov now has stepped onto the ice. Penalty is over, and we're back to 5-on-5 as the Dogs successfully kill a 5-on-3 and a 5-on-4. Toolman now just dumps it in and waits for the rest of his team to chase and change. Here's Carini. As Schumack sets up in front of the net here for the Dogs. Pass comes all the way past both Ice Dogs defensemen as Pataki is going to retreat and getting the instructions from Andrew White to go the other way. Here's Schumack. Nice, intelligent play. Pass back now here to Pataki. Well, coughed it up now here to Vyasov. And now here comes Kokinen with the remainder. Kokinen sends it in front now. They're looking for Burke with a shot. Good save, Ketlow. And Schumack tries to get rid of it. And Pataki there in the corner. Kokinen won that battle and beat both of them. Here's Vyasov. Gets muscled there by White. Stevenson comes to the rescue here for the Dogs and tries to go to his brother. And icing cancelled out as he's going to beat out the icing call. Here's Robertson. Done well there, did Stevenson. Stevenson now behind the net. Still looking to stuff that home short side. Kruger's pad comes out and cancels that out, and we'll have a whistle.
Well, Mr. Bataki got into a bit of trouble in his own end there, and the Mustangs capitalized on that, and they had another couple good chances. So I would have to say that he seems to be having a little bit of trouble with the puck. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I'd have to agree. Maybe the ice is a bit rough. It looks a little bit rough from where we are. Here's Schumer. And sent right back out to the neutral zone. Here's Stringer for the Mustangs. Back check of Manko was effective. Bellick now into the corner. Pursued there by McGregor. Good check from him. And now back to Beatty. Just couldn't settle down a sliding puck. And this goes all the way back into the Mustangs' defensive zone. Here's Beatty now. Wheeling out of his own end. 4:11 left to go here in the first. 1-0 to the Ice Dogs if you're just tuning in. Rawlik, bit of time and space to set things up here for the Dogs on the breakout as they complete their line change, as do the Mustangs. McGregor back to Rawlik behind the net. Forecheck of Vyasov incoming. It was to no effect though as Johnston has it on the far side with a burst of speed to the outside. Here's Johnston moving in. Johnston moves in, shoots. Oh, what a save there from Kruger.
Whoa.
Post to post, keeping Steve Johnston to 1 goal, but we do have a penalty out of that. Hooking is the call, and it's going to go against Troy Robertson. So the Dogs to the power play.
Well, watch that again. Watch him cut across. They've got to take that opportunity away from him.
Yeah.
He cut right in front of Kruger, and Kruger rode him well and cut him down. So you must keep those guys to the outside and not give them that opportunity to cut back.
So Robertson to the box. Power play coming up here for the Ice Dogs. And a chance to extend their lead. As here's Toolman now. Back to the point to Rawlik. Over now here to Johnston. Moves in on the shoot. Shoots, and great save there from Kruger. Saw it all the way, and we get a whistle.
You know how we were talking about, Bernie O'Mac. Penalty killing could be the key to this game. Who will blink first? Well, Bernie, that's exactly what we talked about last game. So if you're in the box, you're not where you're meant to be, and it's harder for the coach to win the game.
Here's Tallman, sends it in front, and McGregor, the lone hand there, but it was well wide of his stick. Now back to Eder Stevenson, being of the Todd variety. Back behind the net to Johnston, looking for Tallman, and, well, pass was cut off there by Beatty, and he dishes off now here to Kokanen with O'Kane. O'Kane now, far side, shoots, and, well, it's a floater, and not real of any threat to Damien Ketlow as Carini's calling for it in behind the plate, and Johnston has it now here for the Dogs. Johnston, too fast for the Mustangs play, cuts into end, deja vu. And, well, looks like we're going to have another penalty.
Yeah, sure.
And the net is off as Johnston with an identical play.
From the other side.
Yeah, exactly. Mirror image. Well, the Mortal Kombat mirror match. Here we go. Well, no penalty. I thought there might have been a trip there. That attention from Beatty. Here's Johnston cutting in. Tries to go the other side. Yeah, the skates collide.
Well, there was really nothing in that, I guess, but it looked like there was.
Yeah. Here's Toolman. 1:07 left on the man advantage here for the Dogs, and Rawlik just coughed it up over the other side of the blue line, and the Dogs will have to retreat. 2:48 to go here in the first period. Here's Tallman now. Down the far side. Tallman draws two Mustangs players towards him. Here's Johnston. McGregor on the point with him. Johnston, a bit of real estate, gets it back now here to Tallman by way of Johnston. And he's got it now. That quick shot, and McGregor fanned on it. And a good opportunity squandered there from the Dogs. However, they still have 38 seconds left of this penalty to Robinson for hooking. The puck sent in behind the goal line. Bit of give and go now here between Beatty and Bellick, and here's Humphries now with the puck. 23 seconds left on the penalty. Bellick sends it up now here to Humphries, who's in behind, and now moves it back here to McDowell. Shoots off the side of the net, it goes. And McDowell gets the rebound. Done a good job to eat up at least 10 seconds of this power play. Short-handed opportunity coming here for the Mustangs, but a 2-on-1 developing here for the Sydney Ice Dogs. Here's Carini going to the net. There's Marino shot. Great save, Kruger, and he covers the rest.
Well, interestingly, I think it was more than 10 seconds. I actually think the Mustangs had that for probably 25 to 30 seconds, and they had total control of the Ice Dogs power play. So the only thing that was unfortunate was a 2-on-1, and Kruger did exactly what he was supposed to do. So all in all, that was pretty good.
So back to even strength hockey as Robertson stepped back on the ice just at the close of that opportunity for the Dogs, and this one sent into the neutral zone. Good check there from Manko on McDowell. Here's Humphries, but he's got to wait for Burke to touch up, and just offside is the call. As
I would go to the video on that one because I reckon that wasn't correct.
I thought he got his at least one skate on the line, but we don't. Well, we have cameras either side of the blue line, not on it. But
and I have to say that I love the two linesmen. Okay.
All right.
But it's time to go to the video.
Actually, no, that was the correct call there. Just seeing that out of the corner of my eye. Here's White got slashed there by Burke. Long range shot, and that's wide of the net of Karuga. As Manko lost control. Humphries has it. Marino looking to put him into the glass. Does exactly that. Sent around by Humphries. McDowell touches the puck out to centre. White's there for the Dogs, and he starts out in front of the penalty box. A little bit of chip and chase, but the rest of his teammates are changing. And probably we will finish the game, given that there's only 66 seconds remaining of the first period. I'd say that should finish the period. Getting ahead of myself. Here's Rolick. Just peels off with Humphries there on the full check. Here's Tillman. Tillman now puts on the afterburners through centre. That was left behind there. Stevenson has to retreat and put it back in as the Mustangs use the opportunity to change personnel. Burke has it here behind the net for the Mustangs with Beatty as Bellick heads to the bench. And Beatty now, well, Johnston collided there with Tillman. This opens up an opportunity here for O'Kane with McCoy and Burke, and he shoots and he puts it wide. Great build-up from the Mustangs. Again, in 23 seconds, here's a chance for the Ice Dogs the other way. Johnston again trying to cut in through the Mustangs' defence and just can't do so. O'Kokinen now. Oh, looked like he got a high stick.
Yeah.
And Stevenson, accidental. And let's have a look at the replay, because it looked Stevenson was just trying to clear the puck.
I don't think he did it on purpose, but he at least acknowledged that it happened, and he just went to the box.
Oh, it's just outside of frame. Couldn't see it. But another power play coming up here for the Mustangs.
And it's a good way to end the period, too. I mean, at the end of the day, 12 seconds, you're going to carry that into the next period.
Good save there from Ketlow to keep it 1-0. Here's Burke now, and he just keeps it on side. One last shot coming, he shoots, and a good save again from Ketlow. Beatty fires, and it's blocked up high. There goes the horn. And that will do it for the first period of action. 1-0 to the Sydney Ice Dogs. Steve Johnston with the lone goal of the game. Rod, your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts are, if I'm the coach on either bench, I'd be pretty happy, because they shared the play equally, and there was a lot of good offense, and there certainly was some solid goaltending from both ends. So, all in all, maybe tighten your defense. If I'm the Mustangs coaches, I'm going to be saying, you got to watch Johnson. You can't let him cut in front and things like that. But pretty happy all around, I would think. Your thoughts?
Yeah, look, I think Johnston's still cutting them up at the back.
He did.
He's causing them a lot of trouble.
From both sides, too, and so that's not a good thing, for sure.
Well, we'll see how the Mustangs manage that predicament as the game progresses. After the first period, it's 1-0 to the team from New South Wales. We'll be back with the second period of play right after this. Don't go away. And welcome back to the O'Brien Group Arena here in Melbourne. Period number 2 of the Sydney Ice Dogs and the Mustangs about to get underway. 1-0 to the Sydney Ice Dogs. Lone goal from Stephen Johnston for the Sydney Ice Dogs being the only scorer of this game. Rod, your thoughts coming into this second period?
Well, my thoughts are that the tables are set right for the Mustangs. They got a 1 minute and 48-second power play. They're down 1-0, so there's no better opportunity than to get back in the game as in right now.
Indeed, and there are 2 other games being played this evening. Adelaide Adrenaline and the Melbourne Ice gets underway in about half an hour's time. And of course, the CBR Brave and the Perth Thunder also playing the second part of a double header over there in the west. That's about an hour away from this one. So 1:47 left on the man advantage for the Mustangs to start this second period as Rawlick takes over the puck and takes back into his own zone and fires it right back down ice. And Kruger gets the paddle on it, settled it down now here for Jamie Burke. Next game for the Mustangs, Thursday evening, the only Thursday night derby of this season. Usually there's 2 or 3, well, at least 2. And this one being the only one late in the season, derby number 4. Don't forget you can tune in from 8 o'clock Australian Eastern Time this Thursday night. Here's Burke now. Sends it over here to Beatty and on to Kokanen. Beatty now. Nice interplay here between him and Burke. Cross ice now here for Kokanen. Got a bit more real estate to deal with. Here's Humphries in the slot. Kicked out by Ketlow. And a beauty stop there from the Dogs netminder. Been on form all game. Back now here to Beatty. 54 seconds left on the penalty to Stevenson for the high stick. And the Manny high stick. Kokanen has the puck. Sends it down now here to O'Kane. Humphries looking for the wraparound and the puck tied up in his skates. Net is off its moorings. We'll have a whistle.
So just a quick plug here now. If you're coming for the actual AIHL finals and you go to the James and you've had a few too many beers, your stopping port of call would be the Quest in the Docklands. So book your rooms for the Quest because they also are a major sponsor of the Mustangs Ice Hockey Club.
Yes, we should also mention them, yes. Quality Establishment stayed with them in Sydney just recently on a work trip. So, yes, I recommend them as well. And thanks to them for their support of Australian ice hockey, along with the James Hotel. 2 for the price of 1 there. And that plug, here's Kokanen, moves through centre. 28 seconds left on the penalty. Kokanen tried to get it through to O'Kane and ended up coming back over the blue line. And Beatty has it now at centre. Don't forget the AIHL Finals weekend, September 2 and 3, right here at this very venue. First week in September, usually the last week of August, but the calendar befalls us this year. And here comes Jamie Burke. Tries to send this one around. 13-14 remaining here in the period, and that's the end of the penalty as Stevenson steps back on the ice. And Toolman now tries to hit Stevenson. Icing's going to be washed out regardless as Kruger comes out of his net and just manages to play the puck. Kruger gives him the stiff arm. Stevenson, well, almost a slash of sorts, as he lost his edge and almost went straight back to the penalty box, but not according to the referee. And here comes Burke with the puck. Burke over the centre line with Humphries. Burke still got it. Burke still onside. Nice moves, and well, Pataki did enough to force him off the puck and force the puck into the corner as White ties up Burke. And this puck gets sent out here onto the stick of the Ice Dogs. Toolman trying to play there with Johnston. Sends it in behind as Stevenson fired in there by Toolman. Great shot. And an equally better save there from Kruger as McGregor mops up now here for the Ice Dogs in his own zone. Oh, stolen there by Vyazov, cutting towards the net. Vyazov shoots! Oh, and got rocked there by Toolman in the end and McGregor. But Ketlow kept it out. And icing going to be the call. And we're going to whistle.
So, you know, again, you can't help being a coach, okay?
Yeah.
Jamie Burke steps over the blue line and he tries to toe drag the puck, but he had a screenshot set up, so he should have taken the shot, okay? Now you got Vadam. Vadam poke checks the puck away. He has 2 trailing Mustangs coming in, and instead of using them, he takes a shot from an angle that Ketlow will be thanking him for forever.
Maybe he's watching Toolman's goal last night.
I don't know. I guess so.
Scored from behind the goal line and banked it in off Kruger. That was the goal that got the Mustangs back into it in that third period. However, this is Sunday and a totally different game. Vyazov now trying to joust there with Toolman. Dogs managed to get it out to neutral zone territory, but sent right back in here for the Mustangs, and McGregor going to have to bail his team out. 11:49 to go here in the second. 1-0 the score if you just tuned in. Steve Johnston with the lone goal of the game for the Sydney Ice Dogs. McGregor starts out through the neutral zone, gives it out now here to Carini, couldn't control it. Bellick sends it right back from where it came from, and Kokonen's going to try and beat out the icing call, going to do so. McGregor now takes the angle away. And away come the Ice Dogs. Nice outlet pass. Here's Carini in behind the Mustangs on a breakaway. Carini moves and shoots and scores! 2-0 Sydney Ice Dogs. And number 22 puts the second on the board and continues the numerological theme with 11-22-33. And it's a 2-goal game.
Well, he got freewheeling time there. No one picked him up. And I don't think he got good wood on that. Look, watch Kruger's expression, because Kruger had him all the way, and it shouldn't have gone in, and he knows it. So it's unfortunate that they scored, but he shouldn't have been allowed to freewheel either.
So Ellis Carini, that's his 4th goal of the season, and the 2nd goal of the game here for the Dogs. And they lead by 2. Here's McCoy. And the Ice Dogs fans that have made the trip down, showing their appreciation. And kudos to them, the travelling fans that make it down here to Melbourne and all over the league. A lot of fans over in Adelaide, Melbourne Ice fans over in Adelaide, and CBR fans in Perth at the moment. Here's Beatty. Over to Burke now, down the far side. Skips by the tip check there of Carini, did well, shoots and puts it wide. And almost a chance there for the Mustangs the other way. Here's Humphreys now. Marino just a little late to lay the check. Burke's got it behind the net, sends it out in front to Humphreys. Got a shoulder, managed to get it through. It's loose in front, and Ketlow keeps it out. Not over, though, in terms of an opportunity for the Mustangs. Turnaround shot from McDowell, wearing the C tonight. Comes off the side of the net, and that's sent out of the zone there by the Ice Dogs. And that's going to be icing, and we get a whistle.
Well, you know, for as much as I was just having a go at Jamie for not shooting, I just got to say, there are guys and then there are guys, and he's a guy who can do amazing things with the puck. If you watch that last play, they had him all the way, and somehow he avoids the check, gets the puck, ends up in the slot, and manages to take a shot. So the guy is an amazing hockey player to watch.
Taking some inspiration there from Chris Collinworth, are you?
What?
Now here's a guy. Well, NFL fans will get that reference. As we're going to try and play the part of Al Michaels somewhat. I can't live up to that kind of stature. Here's Spence. Beaten out there by Bellick. White trying to come in on the forecheck. Here as Marino had Fisher lined up and just couldn't finish him off. Here's Stringer. Shoots long range and wide of the glove there of Ketlow. Johnston trying to dig at the puck in front of the net. Chipped out there by Fisher, but took a deflection, and Bellick has it in the neutral zone. A little scrappy exchange there from both teams. Now Robinson to the rescue here for the Mustangs, and he sends it into the corner. Pataki just backhands this one deep into the corner. Trying to get it out now here to Bellick, but taken away by Johnston at centre. Passed out now here to Stevenson. Toolman going towards the net, calling for it, and it was just behind him. And that danger averted there for the Mustangs, held in there by McGregor. The Mustangs trying to get out of their own defensive zone. Here's Robinson. Tried to send that out. Chopped down there by Stevenson. Gathered in by Toolman in front of the penalty box. Enough time and space now here for Johnston to skate over and get a good pass over to Stevenson over on the blue line. Toolman going towards the net. Sent in to the corner now. Toolman backhands this one intelligently over here to Johnston. McGregor calling for it on the point. Goes to him now. McGregor got a bit of time base to shoot. Looking for the tip from Stevenson in front. But into the chest of Kruger. And we get a whistle.
Well, again, I think that I'm watching the third line, and for all intents and purposes, they're doing pretty well. I mean, they had a little bit of a lapse there, but Kruger again come up and made a good save off an average shot. But they're playing good, all things considered, and that's what you want.
So plenty of attacking opportunities for both teams in this period. Is Beatty prodded at there by Carini. The Dogs who lead on the scoreboard, though, I must say, obviously, as McCoy. But better quality chances, I'd say, for the Ice Dogs.
Yeah.
As hit. Stevenson just couldn't control it. 3-on-2 developing now here for the Mustangs. Okay, across. Beatty just couldn't handle the puck. It's put it back in front. Oh, and a bouncing puck. And Ketlow deals with it. And Schumack deals with O'Kane. And if there'll be any penalties, I don't believe there will be. But what a build-up there for the Mustangs. And just the coup de grace just a bit lacking there.
Well, and the interesting thing there is O'Kane's right in on it, trying to get that free puck. And if you remember yesterday, the first goal, everyone thought the play was finished. O'Kane came in, picked up what everyone thought was a dead puck and put it away. So you've got to be a bit tenacious, and he is tenacious in those situations.
Yeah, I mean, the last couple of games, I mean, it was 2 weeks ago where he ran into James Downey. So living on the edge a little bit this season, more so in previous years, I should say.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Maybe he's just waiting to become an Australian citizen. He's that anxious. He married one, so...
Maybe he's eating Vegemite for the first time.
Yeah, that's true. Wonder what Sean O'Kane's got to say that over in New Hampshire. He's tuning in, I'm sure.
He hasn't tweeted us, mate.
I think. As well, Spence got rocked there by Beatty at centre ice. What a hit. And this one sent out as Spence tries to even the ledger there on O'Kane. And the physicality from yesterday, although not as prolific tonight, still there in spits and spurts. Here's McCoy. Swings it around now here to Robertson. Set in behind. McCoy. Just the give and go. Vyasov couldn't command the puck the way he wanted to. McDowell has to pick it up and give it back now here to McCoy, and all the way over now here to Troy Robertson. As we talked about, making his first appearance this weekend. Made the first one last night, but first games since 2014, where he won the Goodall Cup with the Mustangs. There's Burke. Well, as Andrew White had the laser pointer right on Jamie Burke.
He certainly had him lined up, but once again, Burke, I swear he's got eyeballs everywhere, man.
Yeah.
Very rarely does he get pasted. So. And
he's got a mouth in each direction too.
I hadn't noticed that.
One of the best chirpers in the AIHL, as well as one of the best goal scorers. So
seems to me he got a penalty at the end of the game, last game, for that, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Scored and let everyone know.
Got the 10 minutes and out of the game he went. And here's McDowell. Well, he can walk the walk and talk the talk. Fair enough. Here's Tillman. And Johnston now, down the far side, 2-on-2 now here for the Dogs. Johnston, nice moves. Johnston still cutting the net, shoots! Oh, just sprayed it wide off the backhand. White tried to set it in front, no one home. And here comes the Mustangs the other way through Burke. Burke now, nice stick handling for him. Burke, cut off there by Toolman, the crucial stick lift. And Jamie Burke had about 30% of the net to shoot out. Here's Toolman now, the other way on a breakaway. Grant Toolman in a lead on Kruger, shoots! Oh, what a save! Freddie Kruger.
Well, we got a penalty.
With the nightmare on Pearl River Road. And, well, he absolutely robs Grant Toolman on the breakaway. Wow.
That was a great save. Watch that again on the replay, mate. In behind, upstairs, big save.
Wow, you would have put that.
I couldn't even say, see you later, Sally.
I think I talked over the top of you there, but no. One of the saves of the weekend there from James Kruger. I mean, Ketlow had a similar one last night, but anything Ketlow can do, Kruger can do just as well, if not better. And great display of goaltending this weekend. And Kruger, the latest installment, there was a penalty out of that. Mustangs, Jamie Burke, maybe we jinxed him, just got one there for the slash. And the Ice Dogs are on the power play. And Kruger with a bit more work to do here in this next minute 38. Here's Rawlick now, Coconut. Down to Toolman. He jousts there with McCoy. Johnston tries to lend him a hand, and that just bounced over the stick of Rawlick, and into the neutral zone go the Ice Dogs. McGregor, nice pass, finds Toolman. Had to wait for Stevenson to touch up. Timed it well. Here's Toolman cutting the wedge, shoots! Oh, tried to go upstairs, and went all the way upstairs to the third floor, in fact, and we'll get a whistle.
So, interestingly, again, on the start where the power play was called, there was a mistake on the blue line by Troy Robertson.
Yeah.
He never got control of the puck, and one thing led to another, and he got caught flat-footed. Both of you get caught, and the next thing you know, Toolman's in behind them. So,
yeah,
very, very important to watch your back door.
And in behind now, here's Vyasov, but McGregor's going to cut him off and delay him somewhat. And Vyasov now looking for the trailer there in Beatty, just onside. Beatty now fires all that hit Ketlow in the mask, and he made the save regardless. Looks to be okay. Stringer, short-handed opportunity there for the Mustangs. Caught Grant Toolman on the point by surprise. However, Ketlow to the rescue for his teammates. As that one just out of reach there of Stevenson. Carini, I thought he was going to get to the puck first. But maybe at the time he made his decision was behind the Mustangs player.
Well, no one cracked it on the Ice Dogs bench, so what else can we say about the Quest?
I don't know. Do they have good shower soap?
Well, I reckon that they're actually a very well-established business, and I've stayed with them in Albury and thought they were brilliant. So I can only imagine, from what I've seen and from what I've heard of our players, who are actually sponsored and put up by the Quest at Docklands, that it's a fantastic place to consider if you're coming to Melbourne, and certainly if you're coming to watch the AHL Grand Final.
Here's Bellick now, shoots that one into Stevenson. Are they paying you per plug? Here's Rollick. I'm going to have to do some financial digging afterwards, Rob. And this one moved out in front of the corner. Here's Bellick. Now shoots. Oh, great save by Ketlow. Loose on. Fisher was lurking there for the rebound. And the stick there of Rollick being the difference. Marino back the other way for the Dogs. Nice spinorama. Just negated the check there of Fisher. Held in by Tallman. Sent into the corner. Bellick trying to get it there for the Mustangs. And it trickles all the way through to Kruger. He holds on.
So let's talk about something serious for a second. The Derby, the fourth Derby. I actually thought of the three Derbies, the first Derby was the best. Okay, I actually thought that anybody could have walked out of that building on that first game and been a winner. And certainly you and I kidded around about the Swedish coach for Melbourne Ice and how he would have been very happy to have won that game. So the fourth one will be very, very interesting.
Yeah, indeed. And obviously it's they don't have a game on the weekend as a result of the Thursday night. So bit of respite. Here's Pataki sending it in front, looking there for White. And he shoots this one around. As that's the end of the penalty as Burke steps back on the ice. And, well, looks like Humphreys got stepped into. And he looks to be okay, a little slow after he dropped his stick. Here's Stevenson now. He got checked as trying to bust through there was Tallman. Pretty tight space there in front of the Mustangs faithful behind the net. As this one now taken away by McCoy, touched off by McDowell, and out eventually to Beatty. Beatty now down the near side. Beatty trying to cut towards the net, just couldn't control a sliding puck. And McDowell beaten to the punch there by Johnston. In turn gets beaten to the punch there by Humphreys, but it's sent back out to the neutral zone, and Robertson has it for the Mustangs. Now to Beatty, trying to cut inside. Beatty had to deal with a couple of checkers. Here's Burke now shooting. Oh, great save. Ketlow keeps it at 2-0, 4:19 to go.
That's exactly what you want to do, cut in, take the shot. So he did that, he just shot it right at him, but aside from that, it's the right thing to do. So, power to him.
So we have a look at the upcoming schedule for both teams. I mean, we have the Derby on Thursday for the Mustangs, and next Saturday, the Battle of Sydney in Sydney against the Sydney Bears. And that's going to be a ripper as well. And the Dogs then take on the Adrenaline the day after. So, I mean, the Adrenaline at the bottom of the table at the moment. They got the Ice this afternoon, and that's two pivotal fixtures between two teams that are below the Ice Dogs. So, you know, they ideally, if they could win tonight, they could start a bit of momentum. However, not going to try and take it away from the Bears and Adrenaline. But as I said, we've seen this season tighter than the last three. And here's Stevenson now. There's Rollick. And that one was turned aside by Kruger from a wide-angle shot, put into the corner now here by O'Kane. Evades the check there of Schumack, sent over in front of the penalty box, gathered in by Vyasov, fires it across looking for Kokkonen. Too much of a saucer pass for him to deal with. And the Ice will come back now through the neutral zone, through Stevenson, just tries to chip and chase right into the stomach there of Robertson. And, well, getting hauled down there was Vyasov by Stevenson. He's going to earn himself 2 minutes in the box. But Dogs haven't touched the puck, as Kruger did well to get off the ice, and they got 6 skaters on. 3:05 left to go, and that will do that as Kruger will have to commence the long skate back. Stevenson to the box for a hold, and a power play here for the Mustangs.
Well, 2-0, plenty of time left, and a power play. So these guys have to get it together and capitalize on their chance right now.
So big shout out to Kevin Morrison tuning in there on the west coast of Florida, Tampa Bay Lightning fan, and everyone else tuning in on the stream wherever you are around the globe. 3:03 left here in this second period. 1:57 left on the penalty here to Stevenson. 5-on-4 for the Mustangs, and a chance to maybe claw one back before the end of the period. Here's O'Kane giving it back now here to Kokkonen, top of the circle. Fires it down low now to O'Kane. And, well, Pataki tried to take the puck off him. O'Kane gets it back in the meantime. Now here to Humphreys. Back to O'Kane. Got Burke on the point. O'Kane now just assessing the situation. Humphreys being the best option. Gives it back now here to Burke. Across now here to Beatty. Bit more space to get a shooting lane. Kokanen now, tight angle, got not much on offer, goes back to Burke, who's changed places with Beatty, puts one up, but it's blocked up high. And offside, the call will get a whistle.
And that's always a danger on a power play. You're pressing, 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 and on a forecheck like that, next thing you know, the puck bounces free, and you're looking at a break on your goaltender.
Tolman, and I'm trying to lip read here. I need to, I feel like George Costanza in the lip reading from the Seinfeld, as Burke and Tolman had a good 20-second conversation there about that little offside decision. I'm sure a bit more. Here's Beatty, backhands it across now here to Humphreys, around Tolman. Well, dished back up now here to Burke. Burke now. Tolman lost his stick. They're 5-on-3 at the moment. Okay, shoots and scores!
That's the way. That's the way.
Power play goal of the Mustangs. They cut the deficit to 1. It's 2-1.
So, Pat O'Kay's got one of the better snapshots going, okay? He just floated in from the high slot, waited for the pass come across, and let a great shot go. So, power on him, mate. Bingo. And see you later, Sally.
So Pat O'Kane's 11th goal of the year, 24 points on the season, and he cuts it back to 2-1, 2:04 remaining here in the second.
So, like I said, it's still very much anybody's game. 2 minutes left in the second period, sorry. 2-1 Ice Dogs.
And Rory Rolick has it now. 2 minutes remaining here in this period, as the Mustangs get a late one, and a bit of frustration on the Dogs bench at the moment. As Ketlow, in my opinion, deserved the shutout the way he's been playing this afternoon.
Yeah, he's been playing well. There's no doubt about that.
Here's Rolick. Schumach now. In there with Stevenson going to the net. Rolick, tried the Forsberg move, just didn't pull it off. And when you're 6'5", you can get away with pulling a move like that, coming in from that angle. Almost paid dividends.
He's a good hockey player. There's no doubt about that.
Humphrey sends it into McDowell, touches it off now here for Burke. Carini couldn't cancel him out, and Ketlow with a save as well. Burke got smashed there coming in. We got a penalty coming, and it'll be interesting to see if anything more comes of this. And I'm assuming that after last night, nothing much will. So here's Burke with a shot. Ketlow gobbled it up.
Who took him? Oh, right there.
Schumach was the offender. I don't think there was anything much in that. Maybe a bit late.
Well, the unfortunate thing is he's moving towards the boards and Schumach hit him, right? And that's a very dangerous place to be.
So he's taking Stevenson and Burke. So coincidental minors here, I believe. So Todd Stevenson's going to sit for the Ice Dogs. Jamie Burke's going to sit for the Mustangs. 4-on-4 indeed.
Did you see what Burke did? What did he do?
No, maybe it's a rough, I'm not sure. There's 2 up for Burkey, and there's going to be 2 up for Stevenson. We have a look at the replay here.
Yeah. So right there, he gets hit.
I don't think Todd Stevenson did anything at all. Maybe.
So what did Burke do?
I didn't see anything there.
It must have been something after he said something.
Oh, it might have been before that.
Yeah.
So Beatty now, 1:17 to go, 4-on-4 for the remainder of the period, and that one just slides loose. Ketlow, what a save!
Wow.
Damien Ketlow, save of the game. And that is off its moorings. Referee hasn't seen it. Wow, Damien Ketlow.
Ketlow's waiting for someone to call it.
Outstretches the pad and keeps it at 2-1. Tolman to the outside. It's cancelled there by Beatty. Here's White. Just a bit of miscommunication there with Johnston, and a 2-on-1 the other way. Here's O'Kane with Kokanen. O'Kane moving in, shooting. Denied again by Ketlow.
And Pat can't believe he made that save.
Well,
he used Kokanen as the sacrificial pass, right? And hoped that the goaltender was watching that and let a good shot go. What a great save.
Well, as MOP once famously said, ante up, because Damien Ketlow just raised the ante with that pad save and then that glove on 2 shots. Outstanding goaltending from the Sydney Ice Dogs goaltender. And 36 seconds remain. Been treated to a bit of a goaltending masterclass at both ends, despite the scoreline. As this one moved in front. Johnston! He scores! Well, it's been a goaltending masterclass and an offensive masterclass. What a goal there from Stephen Johnston and the Sydney Ice Dogs. It's 3-1.
Unreal. Unreal. And unfortunate for the Mustangs. 29 seconds left in the period. That's absolutely not what they wanted. But watch this replay.
Rolick was the catalyst on this.
He must see him coming in, unattended again. You just can't let that happen, right? He walked right in down the slot and waited for the pass and upstairs. What a great shot.
As Tillman now breaks in. That's the second goal of the game there for Stephen Johnston. As Tillman moves it back out to the point. Here's Rolick, the assist on that last goal. Sends it in deep, 16 seconds remaining. McGregor going to try and get there first. He does so. Beats out McDowell. McGregor trying to find some space towards the net. Back out now here to Rolick. Just content to send it back in. Maybe one last shot coming here for the Ice Dogs. Johnston, he gets checked there by Robinson. Rolick going to throw one on net. No, he won't. And that will do it. What a period of hockey there for both teams.
Let me tell you, from a goaltending perspective, both of them have played out of their skins. And like you said, Kedlo's made a couple great saves. So has Kruger, okay? Yeah. But like you cannot let these guys freewheel. So Kruger got beat by Carini. That shouldn't have happened. He shouldn't have let the goal in, but Carini shouldn't have been allowed to freewheel. The other goal here by Johnston, he was allowed to come right down the scoring lane and pick the puck up, and he was on top of Kruger, so I got to give Johnston like 9 out of 10 for getting that puck over him. So unreal, man, unreal. 3-1.
Another entertaining period of hockey, folks. 3-1 in favour of the Sydney Ice Dogs going into the third period. We'll be back with the third period of play right after this. Don't go away.
All right, kid.
And welcome back. Third and final period of play about to get underway here between the Sydney Ice Dogs and the Mustangs. And a great game it's been so far. 3 goals to 1 in favour of the Sydney Ice Dogs, and a stellar display of goaltending from both Damien Ketlow and James Krugerrod.
Well, mate, I think that once again, if you're a hockey aficionado like you and I are, and we watch these 2 goaltenders, they made some great saves, and at the end of it, that's what it comes down to. You need to break the goaltender's confidence, pop a few goals in. So 3-1, anyone's game here. Mustangs capitalize, get a goal, 3-2, and well, I'll be asking you like I always do, dude, who's going to win this thing?
Well, I'm leaning towards the Sydney side of the equation.
So they're going to be hot dogs instead of cold dogs, eh?
Are they cold dogs? I don't know.
Well,
I don't think I want to go.
So they must be cold dogs.
All right, fair enough analogy. Sharper than me on that one. So we get underway here. Coincidental minors for the next 23 seconds as Stevenson and Burke finish the period in the box, and we still have 4-on-4 here in the third. Now here's Kokanen at centre. Has to peel off as the forecheck of Toolman delayed his progress. Kokanen has it deep in his own zone. The only other game being played in action at the moment is the Adrenaline and Melbourne Ice, and it's still scoreless in the first period. Brave and Thunder underway in about 20 minutes' time. This one moved out. Digging at it there is Rawlik. Here's Toolman, tried to slide that one through. Stevenson now, hands off their hitter Rawlik. In over the blue line, Rawlik forced into the corner by O'Kane, but rims the puck around the kick plate. Johnston tried to get it in deeper. Bit of a slower pace to start this third period. And this one comes out to the neutral zone. Here's Kokanen in alone on McGregor. And well, got knocked to the ice there by Toolman. Didn't see him coming when he cut across the tram tracks and sent to the ice and sent to the bench as he goes for a line change. Here's McGregor. And Toolman was actually pretty generous with that hit. I thought he could have really wound up. He actually slowed down. So here's Stevenson now with Toolman. Toolman with the puck. Oh no, over the blue line. Shoots it through, looking for the trailer there in Rawlik. And just unable to finish it off. And kept in over the blue line there by Stevenson, but onto the stick of Stephen Bellick. Bellick moving to the top. Shot, and great save there from Ketlow. And he gloves.
That was a pretty good play by Bellick. A nice little move, steps in over the blue line, picks his spot and lets a shot go, and Ketlow comes up with a save. But you're right on that other play with Toolman and Rawlik. Toolman saw him cruising in and just did a flip pass across, and it almost came off.
We have a look at the next week's fixtures too on this Saturday. Adrenaline North Stars, Dogs and Bears as we've talked about, and Thunder and Brave, but this time in Canberra. A reverse of obviously today. So some pivotal games across the league. Adrenaline North Stars is an interesting one too, considering the fortune of both of those teams at this stage of the season. I mean, they're just behind these two.
Yep.
And they're not mathematically out of the race, but you know, it's getting pretty close to it. You know, considering I think the North Stars have to win 8 of their last 10 to sort of keep pace with the Mustangs and Dogs. So, you know, time's ticking away. Is that shot off the pipe? Net is dislodged, and we get a whistle.
It sounds like the Mustangs last year, everyone was watching, trying to figure out mathematically can they or can't they make the 4. And in the end, I think we missed out by the old bee's dick thing, kind of. And it wasn't much, you know. So
yeah.
So really, it's amazing how things can turn around. All you gotta do is just look at the Mustangs from like 3 weeks ago. Like, we're almost out of it, and.
Oh, exactly right. And all it takes is one team to collapse, and it's a totally different ball game. Here's Kokanen. Johnston now, but it also depends on your scheduling and your fixtures as well. And it's been an interesting experiment this year in terms of the split scheduling in some respects. Here's Rawlik. Now just with Johnston and Toolman. Rawlik playing a lot more attacking role this period. Only 3 minutes of it has transpired. And out come the Mustangs, 2-on-2. Just a bit too much for Yasov to get a stick on. And here's McGregor. Turns around, fires it right in the chest of his teammate Toolman. But he picks it right back up and sends it in down the ice. Here's Rawlik in behind the plate. It's not enough support there to do much as Johnston arrives. But Rawlik just forced to hold on to the puck. Tries to slide it through to the high slot. No one there but Mustangs players. And O'Kane has it on the far side. O'Kane in over the line. Shoots. And he holds it. Does Ketlow, then we get a whistle.
It's interesting that you're saying about the schedule, because the schedule has been a very interesting one. I mean, where you play, like we played ice, and then we played a adrenaline, I think.
Yeah.
The next weekend we played ice and adrenaline, okay? Crazy. Anthony Rushell. There are guys, and then there are guys, and he's a guy. I think that's erotism if ever there was one. Thank you, Anthony. I'll take that as a compliment.
You'd have to take your theme song as Dude Looks Like a Lady, Aerosmith.
Great song.
As this one moved out to the half wall. Here's Pataki now. Trying to get the pass out there to Manko. Well, that was shot right into the shin pads of Robertson. And away with the puck comes White for the Ice Dogs. White, over the blue line. Manko going towards the net. Leads it in front. Good play there from White. It's loose in the skates of Manko and just couldn't get his stick on it. Bellick could, and it's fired out to centre and all the way back to Kane Spence for the Dogs. Gets the pass out to centre now here for Marino. All by himself. Robertson wins the puck out of that battle and gets it across here to Andrew Bellick. It's sent back there by Schumack. And Marino, youth line out here for the Sydney Ice Dogs. Most exciting youth lines and youth teams in terms of youth prospects in the league currently. Here's Rollick. Now here to Beatty. And Schumack now wheels through centre. Schumack, a long reach there of Beatty. Just pried the puck from his grip. And it comes out now here to Humphries, who nice long pass to Spick. Burke at the opposite blue line. McGregor was aware, shoves Burke to the ice. Carini stolen here by Humphries. Humphries trying to cut towards the net. Oh, just about 20 centimetres wide of the post there of Ketlow. Had everything beat. Bar. The bar. This is McCoy now. And he pulls it up back in his own zone to Humphries. And looking there for Jamie Burke. Rollick. Stevenson tries to shoot this one off the boards. Picked up by Johnston. Humphries now, that's offside. We'll get a whistle as Mitch Humphries almost decided to join the Ice Dogs. Third team in as many weeks.
Well, he's one good player, very tenacious, and has his head on, and he can certainly look around and see what's going on. So he fed a great pass to Jamie Burke. Burke had a good opportunity. It didn't come off, but then he was right back in the play to pick the free puck up again. So never gives up. Great addition to our lineup.
Indeed. 6-point weekend last week in Canberra. Here's Stevenson now for the Dogs with Johnston going to the net. Johnston tried to stuff that one home. Robertson got the timely stick lift and negated that opportunity there for the Dogs. So stolen here by Stevenson, moving in as Tallman towards the net. Oh, backhand sprayed it well wide. And two good chances in as many opportunities and many shots there for the Dogs. And unable to finish it off on both occasions. Puck in the high slot. Johnston fires, and that's about a metre to the left of Kruger. In hard into the glass there goes Stephen Bellick as that shot was sprayed wide. Ice Dogs with all the momentum here in the last 30 seconds. Tallman. Pataki calling for it at the point. Stevenson was arriving late there in the high slot. Tallman spotted him. But with the puck now is Kokkonen. Pataki puts it all the way back in over his own goal line. And we've got a penalty coming up. And it's going to go against the Mustangs. No, going against Tallman. Okay.
Well,
initially I thought Kenneth Danielson was signalling towards Vadim Vyasov there, but Tallman going to be the one who sits. 13:58, the Mustangs with a timely power play.
Absolutely, mate. 14 minutes left in this, and this is what you want. You're given an opportunity to make this game interesting and come back at them. So they collect on this one, 3-2.
So, okay, Burke just could... whoa, I thought that was offside. There, that one was definitely offside. And we'll get a whistle.
So while we're doing that, a few more plugs, Mustangs player sponsors, we have many of them. Kodiak Kids and Kodiak Construction sponsor two of our players, as well as GWT Automotive. So if you have something wrong with your car, go to GWT.
As Humphries now has the puck sent in deep. Maybe I'll take control of the sponsor plugs later. There's a shot there from Humphries. Great save there from Ketlow. As Rollick has the puck and dishes it out deep into the zone. There's, 1:35 remaining on the penalty to Tallman. 13:32 left here in the period. Still plenty of hockey left here at the O'Brien Group Arena. Here's Kokkonen through centre. Around Stevenson. Just delays and gives it back now here to Burke. Back to Kokkonen. Beatty on the other point now here for the Mustangs. And he has the puck right now. Beatty with Mitch Humphries parked in the high slot. jousting there with Shannon McGregor. Beatty looking for O'Kane, who'd switched places. And now he's in front, Humphries behind. Beatty on the point, umbrella now for the Mustangs in terms of formation on the power play. Kokinen down now here to Humphries, sends it in front, and skate being the difference between that getting on O'Kane's stick and not. And out of his net, here's Kruger trying to catch the Mustangs in behind the net, just onside. There was O'Kane. Burke off to Beatty. Beatty now trying to drive towards. Oh, he gets cancelled there by Rory Rawlick. And a good check there from the Sydney Ice Dogs defenseman. Here's Beatty back to Kokinen. 31 seconds left on the penalty. Two players in front of the net now here for the Mustangs. Humphries now, Kokinen back now all the way to Jamie Burke. Over across, now to O'Kane. Oh, great save from Ketlow. May have been going wide, but Ketlow was taking no chances. And we have a whistle.
Well, it's probably worth making a note. Again, if you're at the AIHL All-Star thing and you were there, you were the commentator.
Yeah.
So who had the hardest and fastest slap shot?
Yeah. Beatty.
Okay,
Yeah.
so they got to get Beatty in that high slot, beat him the puck, and let it have a rocket go and get someone in front of Ketlow, okay?
Yeah.
So 21 seconds left. They've got to score on this power play.
Well, they were doing that last night. They were 2 for 5 on the power play last night. And one of those was a good tip as his Vyasov cutting to the net. It's loose in front. Still loose in skates, and Stevenson throws it out to the neutral zone and takes the pressure off. At 6 seconds, number 66 will rejoin the action, that being Grant Tillman, as White whips it around, looking there for the skates of Stephen Johnston, who's in alone on the forecheck. 12 versus 13. That being Troy Robertson. And now McCoy has it for the Mustangs. Has to go back here to Robertson. And they play a little bit of give and go as the rest of the team is changing up. Oh, that caught Ketlow by surprise. And not far off, as Damien Ketlow only conceded the one here tonight. Here's Pataki in over the line. Stevenson with him. Pataki just dumps this one in deep. Here's Robertson for the Mustangs, trying to swing that one out. Manko tried to stop it from coming back out to the neutral zone, but Stevenson's got control, and it's away here to Rory Rawlick, all the way over to here to Carini. Manko going to go in over the line with Stevenson, for the veterans of the Sydney Ice Dogs lineup over the years, as Bellick won the puck in the end and got it out to Robertson. 12 to 13. That being Vyasov, the Mustangs attacking it numerically. Here's Carini now, trying to force his way through Kokinen. Couldn't do so. Vyasov has the puck. 10:52 to go. 3-1 still here at the O'Brien Group Arena. No change in the scoreline from the second intermission. Here's Stevenson. And, well, a bit of a slower pace in this last couple of shifts. Here's McGregor. Third period of a double-header on a Sunday is always a test of endurance. Here's Rawlick, and a shot, and that was globbled up there by Kruger, and he holds on.
Well, it's probably good to make a little plug for that too, okay? So we're in a double-header, right? Second game, obviously a double-header, same team, and it's a Sunday. But if you look at the crowd's pretty good. And, you know, for $22.50 on a Sunday, I can't think anything better to do than come to a double-header game and listen to you and I.
Gonna have to give you some coaching in the advertising department here, Rod, but gonna have to be sponsored by Segway, I think. Here's Burke now, left it behind in the neutral zone. Johnston through the check there on McCoy. McCoy rode most of it. Out now here to Johnston at the neutral zone. Puts it in deep. Rawlick just hands it back off to Johnson. Marino steps on the ice now here for the Dogs. That one's fired through everyone, and, well, no icing according to the linesman. And Maxime Perront on the bench
how was that?
had to agree with me on that one. Here's McDowell. Interesting too, we talked about earlier, Maxime Perront hasn't laced up in a while. Here's Tillman driving it in front. Oh, and Marino just at the wrong angle, couldn't get his stick around in time. It's a good play there from Tillman to set that up as the play comes back the other way here now through Burke. Cutting across, and ends up here with Manko. And back to Burke now here at centre. Marino trying on the forecheck. Manko jousting there with Robertson. Carini got knocked over there by McDowell, and a good check there from the alternate, but today captain of the Mustangs. Here's Humphries trying to cut through Pataki. Pushed him out, and now here comes here to White. Whips it around, and that's going to be icing surely, and we'll get a whistle.
So, dude,
Yep.
why wasn't the other one icing?
You tell me. The mysteries of life, as Homer Simpson would
It's
say.
an amazing thing, isn't it? If there's no play on the puck, right? It should be icing.
Yeah. Oh well, no one scored, no harm done, I guess. Guilty of more than my fair share of those over the years.
And if you're not sure about icing, you can grab the game day program, look at the rules, and there's a little paragraph that'll tell you all about it.
As this one, no, that's not going to be icing, as Carini's going to cancel it out and get there before any Mustangs players do. Sends it in front, and Manco was just about a skate and a half too slow. But the right idea, though, from Ellis Carini. Here's Vyasov. Here's Kokkonen now. And, well, lost control. And back out to the neutral zone. Here's O'Kane. Prodded away there by Johnston, and he steals the puck. Johnston now breaking in on Kruger. Johnston cuts to the net. Oh, he hit the pipe. Wow, Stephen Johnston, as he's done all weekend, the same play, and very nearly 4-1 to the Ice Dogs.
Yep, that was another great cut across. Kruger must have paid the post $20 to help him out.
Just has so much space, so much speed and skill in that space to Stephen Johnston. And, well, looking for Toolman there on the opposite point. His pass went astray, and the Mustangs take control here through O'Kane. Now here to Beatty down the near side. Beatty with McGregor. Shoots, kicked out there by Ketlow. And another good save. Here's Toolman now with Stevenson. Toolman back the other way with some speed. Toolman now thought about the wraparound. Sends it in front. Oh, following up was Carini. And just didn't get all of it. That would have been very nearly the next Ice Dogs goal and probably the game. Here's Stevenson. Manco collided there with Bellick. Humphreys, outlet pass, McDowell and Burke, and that just jumped over his stick. Stayed in play though, almost went into the bench. And a 2-on-2 battle in the corner. Finally comes out now here to center. Marino was aware of the outlet pass, and a bit of questions being asked there of the no icing call there from...
well, that one was maybe closer than the other one, okay?
Yeah, Maxime Perron didn't seem to think so on the bench. Here's Carini now for the Dogs. Carini sends it in, gloved down calmly by Robertson. Chipped back off the boards as Johnston tries to take it away. Gets it back now here to White. Looking for options up ice. And finally finds one. And, well, no, actually didn't in the end. Oh, we got a collision after as Marino and Robertson came together and have a little coming together after the whistle.
So, well, we got another break. I'll try my luck here, okay? My wife, right, prints for the Mustangs. So if you want good printing, you should be going to Minuteman Press Springville for all your printing needs. And let me tell you, they are great with their customers and great with their product.
I'll take your word for it. It's a bit of improvement there, Rod. Let the viewers judge. I hope not too many of them are tuned out. But anyway, here's White. To Pataki, harsh critic. Here's Johnston now. 3-on-2 developing now for the Ice Dogs. Johnston again to the net. Johnston, got hooked on the way in. That's going to be a penalty. Arm of the referee is raised. 6 skaters on the ice as Ketlow heads to the bench. But in vain as Kokkonen touches it. And we'll have yet another power play here for the Ice Dogs. Not what the Mustangs needed at this stage of the game.
I don't think Anton Kokkonen was happy at all there, okay? But in the scheme of things and in the sea of life, and there are many things in the sea of life, my friend, Mr. Johnston has to be taken care of. And so they took the penalty to make sure he didn't cut back across.
Yeah. And, I mean, Steve Johnston has done that all weekend. That's probably the 8th or 9th time he's done that.
Absolutely.
And he scored on 2 of them. So, high percentage, relatively speaking anyway. And here comes Beatty with the puck. So, penalty to Jack Dusty McCoy, 2 minutes for hooking. And the Mustangs on the penalty kill here for the next 149. As this one sent down the side of the net here to Johnston for the Dogs. Sends it in front, looking there for the stick of Stevenson. It's flipped out there by Bellick, but straight back on to the stick of Stephen Johnston here for the Ice Dogs. Tried to slide that one through. Toolman has control for the Dogs on the power play. Back to Rawlick, quarterbacking it. Oh, shot it. And Kruger got the glove on it. Awkward bounce and almost ended up back in the slot. But it ends up back behind the goal line. Stephen Johnston, nice pass there to Stevenson. Drop pass indeed. And it comes back the other way now here to Kokkonen. And, well, appeals for a hook there by way of Toolman, but not according to the referee. Here's Johnston. Cannons one, and that was just wide of Kruger. And Carini thought about trying to bank that one off Kruger as well. And no real danger there as far as the Mustangs goaltender was concerned. Here's Johnston now. 54 seconds left on the penalty to McCoy. Here's Rawlick. Down in deep. Johnston. Met there by Beatty. Enough to separate him from the puck. Good job there from the Mustangs defenseman. And sent around. And Damien Ketlow's going to have to leave the goal crease to tend to the puck as the Dogs take the opportunity to change here with just a shade over 5 minutes remaining here in the game. 30 seconds left on the power play. Maybe 1 or 2 more tries here for the Dogs. If they can get a good zone entry, they can. Oh, maybe I spoke too soon as Stevenson is offside and we'll get a whistle.
Well, there's still 4:56 left. Some people will be thinking it's all over Red Rover, okay? But I think there's still plenty of time for anything to happen.
Yeah, absolutely, and never say never. And remember this, we talked about yesterday, this fixture last year was one of the greatest comebacks I've ever seen, but much different scenario here at the moment. Here's White, sends it in behind. Kruger paddles it out, helped out there by Stringer, but all the way back to Pataki now for the Dogs. Stevenson in front of the penalty box gets collected. And now to Robertson on the blue line, sends it in deep. And White's going to come back. Icing cancelled out there by the linesman. And we're back to 5-on-5 hockey as McCoy steps back on the ice after having done his time. And Carini had it stolen there by Burke. Now Ida Humphries connected all game. And McDowell just couldn't do much with it. Carini comes away 1-on-1 and now 1-on-2. He goes. Wide angle shot, not much on offer. And he's got the puck now as Stevenson and Toolman arrive to give him some backup. Toolman just went through his skates. Beatty comes away with it and starts the breakout now here for the Mustangs. 4 minutes to go. Beatty again on the rush, as we've seen him so often do this year. Beatty drops it in front, hoping Burke would pick it up. And Toolman was the one who did indeed that. And out now here to Pataki. Nice vision there from Toolman. Pataki drops one off now, looking for Johnston. Oh, what a shot there. Ends up in the netting after a save from Kruger.
And a good smart play too. He read that all the way and let his 3 minutes. Let his player set the whole thing up and drop that puck back, and he gets a good shot off. So beautiful.
So as we talked about, Melbourne Derby Thursday night here at this venue, 8 o'clock Eastern. Last derby for the year, as the Melbourne Ice have the advantage in terms of the results this year. As Toolman showed some great save there from Kruger, and he's been great all game, despite being, at the moment, in a losing effort from the Mustangs. Toolman now. Vyasov through centre. Johnston trying to get that through to Todd Stevenson, but Vyasov was the thorn in the side there of the Ice Dogs. Sent out now here to centre. Vyasov now has it. Got a little whack there from Toolman. Sent over the blue line now. Here's O'Kane calling for it. There is Vyasov. Sent it across and no one home. And this one into the corner. McGregor battling away. Rawlick sweeps this one away for the Dogs. He's got Stevenson with him and Johnston on the other wing. Rawlick fires, deflected into the netting. We'll have a whistle.
Which one? Yeah.
So 2:57 remaining. And we talked about the first derby of the year for the Dogs, for the Mustangs and the Ice. Was probably the best one. The last two, well, you know, you be the judge. The Mustangs were in both of those games, particularly in the first period, and the Ice just carried away with it. It'll be interesting to see what that result is on Thursday night, considering the Mustangs' run of form the last few games, and particularly with Mitch Humphries in the lineup. Here's Stevenson, and he gets checked there by McDowell. Bellick and Marino. And obviously also the Battle of Sydney next weekend. The Bears and the Dogs at Macquarie at 5 p.m. Eastern up there in New South Wales. Always a good fixture as well, and sure to be plenty loud and plenty packed as the last few fixtures have been. Here's Humphries now. Sends it across to Bellick. And now out to Burke. Over the line. Burke now looking for a late one. Wide of the net of Ketlow. Mustangs running out of time to try and get back in this game. Here's Bellick. We did mention at the start of the broadcast, would the injuries be a factor? And, well, maybe they have been in terms of this game. However, the Mustangs, to their credit, have stood toe-to-toe with the Dogs so far this afternoon. Here's Johnston. This man has caused them a lot of problems. Johnston across ice, looking for Toolman. As Rawlick has it now for the Dogs. Rawlick pulls up. Hands off, looking there for Johnston, just about half a metre in front of his stick. And this one sent around now here to Burke, looking to orchestrate something. Stevenson knocks him to the ice. And stops the attacking opportunity there for the Mustangs. Johnston again, toe drag. Was in front, they score! Empty netter. And that, is the game. Mustangs roll the dice, and 4-1. The Ice Dogs with a hand and 4 fingers on the 3 points here, and looking to split the weekend.
Well, they had to do that. I mean, 120 left, you're down 3-1, and some people don't understand that, but at the end of the day, you have to get your goaltender out, you have to have another player out there, and you have to have a serious go. And if you're going to lose by 2 or lose by 3, it doesn't matter. So it's just a timing thing, and everyone has to be switched on, and you have to have control, and, well, it's just very unfortunate that it's 4-1.
I didn't, a timeout called now here by the Mustangs. I didn't actually see Kruger leave. He was quite the sidler.
Yeah. Well, and I think that might have been a bit of the problem too, is that he came out and maybe not everybody was switched on to that.
Yeah.
They lost control of the puck and one thing led to another and the puck goes in, and it's very unfortunate. 4-1, my gut feeling is that we're not going to pull this one off. No. But you know what? Funnier and weirder things have happened. So they get another goal, make it more entertaining.
And we're still scoreless over there in Adelaide. Start of period 2 between the Adrenaline and the Melbourne Ice. And the Brave and Thunder are about to get underway.
Now,
so 80 seconds remaining in this one. Maybe a chance for the Mustangs to get at least one.
Yep, that's correct.
And, well, a bit more respectability to the scoreline. However, as I said, game's been on a knife edge, but the goaltenders have been the story of this game.
Well, and if they were to get one, they'd pull him again, I'm sure, and have another go.
Yeah. This one roofed into the defensive zone, sent out now here to Vyasov, and throwing the dice again. Here goes Kruger to the net. 6 skaters on again for the Mustangs. Why not? This one sent around. You fall one down, got nothing to lose. Well, Burke almost put it into his own net with that pass. That's rifled into the zone. No icing. Ketlow comes out. And here's Ilman Lee for a rare shifter this game. Here's Burke now. Mustangs will try and set up some kind of a power play. Style opportunity. Oh, net's off. And, well, that was quite an interesting sequence of events because Ketlow was going one way, the net was going the other, and then his stick went the other way. So,
well, you know, like I said, you have nothing to lose. You might as well have a go at this. And the last thing you want to do is throw the puck away. But one of my criticisms there is you're trying to press these guys. There should have been 2 Mustang players right on top of, was it Illman or somebody in the corner there? Yeah. And they waited to see what he was going to do. You can't wait.
Oh, and that clearing attempt just about a half-metre wide of the goal. Yeah, well, why not? Rory Rolick was feeling game.
Now, here's a plug for us, okay? I had one of our supporters say that they listened to our live stream after the game yesterday and thought it was fantastic.
How many beers in were they?
Well, I asked him that and he said, oh, I don't drink.
Well, there's other substances he probably was taking. Here we go. Here's Tillman now, in alone on an empty net. Grant Tillman, and well, finally gets it in, despite the best efforts there of Matt Beatty. And, well, that is the game. 5-1 here for the Dogs. Grant Tillman gets another empty netter. And, well, the Mustangs, well, they'd been on the last few weeks. Now, they have the Melbourne Ice on Thursday. Obviously, this one's in the books as far as they're concerned. But the Dogs, as we talked about, they've got the Bears next week. Now, the Bears, they've come off a loss to Newcastle last night. Their season is hanging by a thread too.
Sure.
So, what would you expect from them next week? Because I mean, they've been hot and cold this whole season. Yeah.
Well, I think the Bears have a good team.
They have a very good team.
You and I talked about that too. So, so I think at the end of the day, it's like something has to snap to give you a catalyst to get it going. You know.
Because they've just really a lot of talent in that lineup, and they were so good at the start of the season. There's a quick shot, and that's saved by Ketlow. Loose in front, and Bellick just couldn't bury it as Ketlow is going to walk away with just the 1 goal conceded. That is the hockey game. It finishes 5-1 to the Sydney Ice Dogs. Another great game here this afternoon at the O'Brien Group Arena.
Well, and I think you got to re-emphasize that too. So 5-1, you would think, wow, that was what happened from yesterday. But really, in the scheme of things, it was 3-1, and at 3-1, it was anyone's game. And the Mustangs, like you said, they rolled the dice and had a go at it. And I'd do that too.
Yeah.
And I'd do it again, and they did it again, and it just didn't come off. And so no one should leave this rink thinking that they got rolled 5-1, because that wasn't the case.
No, and look, it's split on the weekend too.
Yep.
So both teams walk away with 3 points, and we're back to square one in terms of the race for fourth spot.
And really, that's what you obviously want to sweep, but when we started this broadcast 2 games ago, I said what you definitely don't want is to get swept, okay?
Yeah.
So they both leave here with 3 points each. Not necessarily what they wanted, but they're still both in the hunt.
Yeah. And look, as I said, they both got pivotal derby fixtures next week. And, well, they're both well over the halfway mark now as we get into the business end of the season. And, well, a result, I mean, ideally you said you wanted the 6 points, but Fairs, in terms of the league, I think it probably got the result it deserved this weekend with both teams walking away with a victory.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
And, you know, it'll be very interesting to see how the Mustangs bounce back for the Derby, okay?
Yeah.
And I think at the end of the day, there's enough momentum. They can leave here and be proud of themselves and be ready to rock and roll against Melbourne Ice. And they'll want it. They'll want to finish the year at least by beating them once, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
So that gives them a bit of confidence too, knock off the first place team, and you're on a bit of a roll, and that's what you want. So rock on, brother.
So this weekend finishes 1 victory to the Mustangs, 1 victory to the Ice Dogs. Both teams skated away with 3 points, and that bottom half of the table just keeps getting more intriguing, and you can't separate these teams all but by 1 or 2 points.
Yep.
So to wrap things up here from the O'Brien Group Arena, it's the Sydney Ice Dogs taking this one 5-1 over the Melbourne Mustangs, and we'll be back on Thursday night, Australian Eastern Standard Time, 8 p.m. for the Melbourne Derby, the final one of the season between the Mustangs and the Ice. I'm Steve White, behalf of Rod Johns. It's a very good evening.
Bonjour, mon amis. See you next time.
Sydney Ice Dogs, number 1.